Namaste, friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Tarot, and I am going to do the reading for Twin Flame Energy for July 26th, ahead of this new moon in Leo energy. One more time. Okay, so I have quite a few decks out. I've been doing some personal readings, so I'm going to use some of the decks that I've used for the personal readings, but I'm just going to kind of put them over here. So I will get started. I'm going to start with the Divine Feminine energy. This is the Divine Feminine Oracle. I did pre-shuffle, but I always shuffle on camera for you. And let's get started. Twin Flame Energy, Divine Feminine. The Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. So this speaks to me of like forgiveness, and it also is being in the receptive energy as well as giving. If you're giving, you're creating that flow, but you also have to be open to receiving. So I'm going to put that in front of the Divine Feminine. They said one more. Mary Magdalene, the Apostle of the Apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. So that is the combination of your human energy, your humanity, as well as your divinity. So the bridge that connects your humanity to your divinity. Okay, so this is the Sacred Forest Oracle. Mystic Meadow, Sanctuary. It's a 26, which is an 8. And I'm going to read that. This card appears as a reminder to replenish your inner resources. It's time to renew your energy and make tending to your own needs a priority. Practice extreme self-care. Protect yourself from less than positive influences in your life. Draw nourishment from the wellspring inside you. Be a sanctuary for others. Go within and listen to the voice of your soul. Access your divine guidance. If you have been struggling or pushing, take time off. Retreat, rest, and relax. Take a vacation or embark on a retreat. So this is kind of the energy of nourishing oneself, that divine nature of you and your humanity, taking care of both is what I'm hearing. All right, I'm going to pull from the Muse Tarot. This reads Divine Energy for me. I know someone's asking, why do you always start with the Divine Feminine? Because I think it's important that you get kind of an idea of what your energy is before we read the Divine Masculine energy. So let's see what comes out in the tarot. Muse of Emotions. This is the King of Cups. This is kind of that emotionally detached energy. But here in this card, it seems like this might be the divine and the human kind of back to back, interlaced, interwoven, and appreciating both of them. The Chariot. What I heard with this card is manifesting movement. And the sun. Okay, so it feels like the Divine Feminine is in a really good place with her energy. I think she is really balancing her human aspects, the humanity in her with the divinity in her. And this is bringing about forgiveness and mercy and understanding and compassion. But it's also creating this flow, this movement. You have two major arcanas on either side of the King of Cups. And this is almost her inner sanctuary. At peace. I think she's balanced, and that balance is that Six of Pentacles energy creates a flow underneath the Ace of Cups. Yep. Ace of Cups is kind of like a new level of emotional clarity, emotional depth, emotional understanding, and connectedness. Okay, I'll pull for, I mean, that's really positive energy, very powerful energy. And she's in a really good place. Really, and she has been for a while. She being energy, not gender. But it's like she's definitely very balanced. And the more she is kind of giving from this very divine energy within the context of her humanity, she is now creating blessings and abundance that she is receiving. Okay, this is Illumination. This is Divine Masculine card. This came out actually in a personal reading. And they said, take another. Okay. Power. Feels like Divine Masculine is, we've seen this card quite a few times in Divine Masculine Twin Flame readings, that there is this illumination. There is this sense of power. Let's pull a sacred forest for Divine Masculine too. Moonlight Enchantment. Magic. It's a 25 card. And this is the 26 card, which tells me that Divine Masculine is a little bit behind Divine Feminine, but it feels as though he is kind of stepping into his power the more this whole thing is, the whole connection is illuminated. Let's see what 25 has to say. Magic is all around you. The veil between the worlds is thin right now. Fairies, elves, angels, and spirit beings are just a thought away. It is indeed a magical universe, and the key to opening the doors to those realms is to trust. All may not be as it seems. By the protective light of the moon, the magic of the universe surrounds you. Even though it is dark, the light of the moon shows you the way, reminding you to trust what you feel. You are safe, even if you can't see. Have faith that you are being supported in mysterious and wondrous ways by unseen beings in accordance with your highest good. And what I'm hearing this whole time as I'm reading this is he's being guided, divinely guided. The spirit of Moonlight Enchantment says, believe in magic. You are being given a powerful mystical message from spirit. Take time to listen. Allow the luminescence receptive energy of the moon to activate your creativity. You receive mystical messages and you are in spiritual messenger for others. Okay, so that tells me that he is being divinely and kind of magically guided. And that as he's starting to realize that there's a power in this guidance and the effect it has on his life when he listens. and beginning to manifest. And that might have been from the last full moon, that super moon we had that activated that in him. Him being energy, not gender. Let's see. This is the Somnia Tarot. Yep, Judgment. Ascension. Being divinely guided in this ascension. Another major arcana. And the moon. Yep. Okay, I'm going to move this around a little bit. I have to use this cloth because of the transparent tarot, so I'll pull that in just a minute, but I wanted to get these kind of aligned here. So definitely we were talking about the moon. See the ladder and how he's climbing up this ladder. You have this kind of area in the clouds, very similar to this. He's finding his spiritual power. And I think that last full moon activated that, maybe illuminated a whole lot of things for him. And then he has this deeper understanding. And it feels like there's a flow of energy between the masculine and the feminine, because the feminine is in such that high vibrational place of the balance of her humanity with her divinity. Okay, here we have the Nine of Wands. The Four of Swords. Yeah, those two definitely, after a period of anxiety, she just like fell over. After this period of kind of trying to think their way out of what I'm hearing is out of a box, they're in this period now of rest and reflection and just taking time to process this all. And then we have the King of Swords, yeah, receiving some clarity on all of it and just getting that big epiphany, the truth. And the Ace of Coins. And that is a new, fresh start in the way he sees the world. And, you know, his world, his environment, his situation, his path. On the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords. And in this card, which I don't draw this card often out of this deck, he's kind of trudging up this hill. He's got this chest on his back and there's just swords all in it. It's like there's been about his material world and his possessions and the things that he's worked for and built. Even though this isn't pentacles, he keeps his pentacles in the chest, and now it's just been attacked. He's been attacked on this journey in his 3D tangible world, and so he's kind of just trying to take what he can and move on. And that's underneath the deck. Okay, let's pull from the transparent tarot. I love the deck. It is a little hard to work with because it's so slippery. Okay, let's see what comes forward for the connection. Two of Swords in reverse. Some unblocking. Maybe they've unblocked you. Maybe they're starting to see the truth of something. Looks like the Seven of Swords again, yep. So that's the Nine of Swords. So we have Seven of Swords twice. What I just heard was they figured out the reality of their situation. And now it's released something. Okay, we have quite a few in the reverse here. Let's see. I'm looking for a number. Looks like a major arcana. I want to say it's death and transformation, but I cannot see. There it is, right there. Oh, that's the Fool card. Okay, and then this is the 9. Looks like the 9 of Cups. It's in the reverse. And then we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. So I mean, to me, this looks like he is just absolutely running away. This is a feminine energy, running away with the cup. As this, it's like this new inspiration is that aha spiritual moment. Kind of like when you come out of Dark Night of the Soul and you're just like passionate and on fire with this illumination, and then you start to realize your spiritual power. Five of Cups. And in this deck, the Three of Cups are stacked behind and the Two of Cups are spilled. So normally it's the Two of Cups are behind and the Three of Cups are spilled. But in this deck it's different, and it's almost like they're looking at the connection, the relationship, and they're just trying to figure out. That Three of Cups energy would be union energy for me. They're trying to figure out what derailed this union. They didn't understand. But in their soul, they asked. So here's the Death card. And let's see. This feels like the World card, but they have little tiny, nope. That's, I believe, the 11. So that would be Justice. Or, hold on, is it 10? Yeah, the 10 of Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So here's the So this says to me that these cards, there was something in this blocking energy that was partly malicious, sabotaging, hurtful, and as they become more enlightened, things are illuminated to them. This connection is illuminated to them. Look at the difference in the Seven of Swords cards. This Seven of Swords card is he's just dropping swords and taking what he can carry. And somehow or another, those swords have kind of followed him. They just started, you know, people, what I'm hearing is stabbing at his abundance. And it's almost like they were taking and taking and taking, not thinking about what he needed to get by. And so when I put these two together, it's almost like, okay, this unblocking, because with the Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords, it would be the Nine of Swords. And they were just like, I'm just kind of over this. I've been worried about it and stressed about it for so long. So now I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to unblock what's keeping me from understanding. And so then with this, it's almost like this illumination, this new power that's coming in, it's like it's just inspiring them to, you know, take this leap of faith and run away with their cup. They're just getting their cup out of there. And then here, they're thinking about the Two of Cups, this connection, and the union is they don't understand how to bring it back together. And there's this death energy that is, you know, kind of like we're just cutting through the bullshit. We're just cutting through the bullshit. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And that to me is kind of illuminating where they're stuck right now. As they run away with their cup from something else that obviously has not made them happy, has not been fulfilling to them. They're now starting to put their focus on this energy of the connection, but they're not yet quite sure how to move forward. They just want to get to the understanding. Like, what am I really dealing with here? Okay, we have 2. Here's the 20 card, which is the Judgment card, which is a Phoenix rising. And this is, okay, this is the 4 major arcana. This is the Emperor card. So for the connection, it feels like the biggest transformation or transition is in the Divine Masculine's energy. And it feels like the Divine Feminine has already been through this process, and she's like, no more. I'm not going to worry about how do I make this work. And she's not running to him with her cup anymore. She's in that really balanced place that, you know, she's just enjoying her own magic. She feels very positive about where she is and how she got there. Whereas Divine Masculine seems like he's just coming to that point of, wait, this is something more than a relationship. This is a soul connection, and I don't really understand it, and I need more information. But as he's being guided, he's gaining power and his enlightenment, and he's realizing he's tired of, you know, everybody else focusing on his money, his wealth, his work, his abundance, his resources, and he just wants something that is true. And that's that Phoenix rising from the Emperor card. Okay. Let's take some Angel Tarot, and then we'll get some, oh, this one stayed. 3 of Pentacles. The power of creativity, recognition for high quality work. Be a team player. That was on the bottom. So the Divine Masculine is, after he's kind of been, what I'm hearing is run off. Run off. I keep hearing run off. From whatever it was that he was attached to that was blocking this connection, he's been run off. And now he's maybe going through the dark night of the soul and starting to come through with the spiritual illumination and starting to be divinely guided to who he truly is, so that he can get the balance between his humanity and his divinity. There we go, the star. On the right path. So as the Phoenix is rising in this Emperor card, I mean, you can see that. He's rising above what he has been programmed to be attached to. And that probably going to take a little bit of time to heal. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, well, there's the time. Says a guardian angel too. So he's being guided by his angel. His guardian angel is kind of leading him, but not quickly, because he has lessons to learn along the way from this point forward about his divinity. And the Chariot. So there's lots of things about recognition here. So we had recognition for very high quality work, public recognition. We have 2 Earth cards here, the Knight of Earth, the 3 of Earth, 3 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. He's definitely going to need some time to figure this out, but he is being guided. But there is something about public recognition, and it feels like everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody in the town, everybody in the village, or in the circle that knows. So that's kind of that public recognition, and that's been something he's had to deal with. That's been a challenge for him. That's why all these swords. Everybody knows he's up and left, and they're all throwing swords at him, saying, you know, how could you leave? You know, are you sure that was the right thing to do? Those kind of comments, they're all throwing like the swords at him. Now we have more Pentacles. 9 of Earth. Spending quiet time alone. And I'm just pulling which one is relevant. There's lots of little sayings here. Okay, so it feels as though he has had, there could be, he's self-employed. Look at all the Earth energy here. He's been self-employed, and he's had a run of good success. And he's accumulated all of this wealth, but it's not fulfilling for him anymore. And so he's like, F it. I'm just gonna move on and start over somewhere else. Or I'm just gonna take my wealth and, you know, go do something else. And this is somebody who's worked hard, who has gained recognition for their success, for their work. But now that they're obviously leaving some sort of situation because it no longer resonates with their soul, and that's being illuminated to them, they're, you know, just like, I need to go find something else. You know, I need to be in pursuit of what makes my soul sing. Ace, yeah. So he's starting new, starting fresh. There's his strength. He had great inner strength to do that. Feels like he's taking some time. We already saw that Four of Swords energy. He's kind of taking some time to kind of decipher what's going on. Usually the Strength card is an 8th card, and then this one it's an 11, and that's Twin Flame energy for me. Yep, and there's the 6 of Cups, 6 of Water. That's definitely soulmate. All right, let's take some answers from angels. Angel Answers Oracle. Perfect timing. I feel like he's getting synchronicities, and all of this is happening at the most appropriate time for him, and he doesn't understand that now, but he will. Oop. Look for a sign. So he's definitely being guided, and if you can see, that looks like a masculine angel. And Divine Feminine Angel is just gleaming like, yeah, now you're going to really see the magic. Now that you've unblocked your energy, you're really going to see it. And here is the signs being guided to him. And Divine Feminine is like, yep, in divine timing, because I've balanced the humanity and the divinity in me, and I've turned over everything and trust that the divine has perfect timing. And the answer is yes. So if you were thinking of a question and you needed an answer, yes or no, you just got it. Let go. This really feels like, look how similar those cards are. Divine Feminine, and look at the similarities kind of here of all of this wisdom being, you know, the downloads coming, and, you know, starting to see synchronicities and like, wow, this is incredible, you know, starting to put those pieces together. Remember when the first time you started seeing synchronicities and you're like, I don't believe that, you know, it's just coincidence, until it happens so much, you're like, unbelievable. Remain positive. So both of you remain positive. I think the Divine Feminine's in that energy. I think Divine Feminine seems to be in a really, really good place. And I think I say that every time because she's learned her lessons. Now she's in that really balanced, kind of that neutralized energy. So the polarity is starting to shift. And I'm seeing more and more now in the twin flames that I know and that I'm working with, that the Divine Feminine has just kind of detached and walked away from this emotional roller coaster of the twin flame dynamic, and she's just focused on her own divinity and creating abundance in her life and seeking soul sanctuary without the disruption and the turbulence. Whereas that puts her kind of in more of a neutral polarity, which then of course directs the Divine Masculine to start, you know, pushing his energy toward Divine Feminine, which can create a runner dynamic for the feminine. Now, the best option is to stay in your neutral energy and not become the runner. Remember, this is duality and polarity. So as the Divine Feminine now is just in a neutral place, the Divine Masculine is being guided toward her. Whereas if the Divine Feminine starts running, then they're going to start chasing, and then you've got somebody not really focused on their spiritual growth. They're focused on trying to recreate the connection from possibly their ego or from their desires, and not based upon their spirituality. Does that make sense? Okay, well, that's been a pretty long reading, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope it helps. Happy Twin Flame Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.